Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf. Let's head to the most popular course in America. So we made it to Johnny Roberts Disc Golf Course, which, at least what everybody in Denver says, this is the most popular course in America. And if you either look at UDisc or just like see who's gonna be here when we play the course, you'll be able to see why. But because this is one of my new home courses, I wanted to start a new series because I've always wanted to do a lot of videos at like pitch and putt courses to review putters. And this is great because it's 18 holes ranging between like 140 to like 260 feet. So today we're gonna start a series called Johnny Putter Reviews. If there's a better name, let me know a better name. But basically, whenever I get putters that a company wants to send me or that I just wanna review, we'll have a competition between that putter as well as every other putter that's ever played the course. Now to start it out, we're gonna start with a putter that I had never heard of until this company actually reached out to me on Instagram, and it's called the Jester Disc Golf Love. This is the way that these videos are gonna work. We're gonna play the 18 holes here at Johnny Roberts and just try to shoot the best score that we can. But I'm always gonna try to have at least 3 of whatever discs that I'm reviewing. That way I can take 2 practice shots because these are all pretty aceable holes, and we're gonna do an ace race on top of just the normal round that we play. Whatever our score is gonna be what counts for the competition of all the putters that I review here at Johnny Roberts. But the ace race is gonna be the tiebreaker. I'll probably only show you the good or decent shots from those second and third shots. And whenever a company reaches out to me to do a video, unless they're sponsoring the video, I always say, hey, there's no guarantee, but if I like it, I might review it. When I got my hands on them, I knew I had to review them, so here we are. All right, so for putting, they're definitely interesting. They have like this little lip here that lends to a putter who wants to put their finger like that. I prefer to be under. I imagine that the premiums are gonna be slightly more stable. The numbers actually show that these say 2, 3, 0, and then kind of I like the way they do the 1.5. So maybe they're saying that these are more stable, which I don't think would make sense, but hole 1, straight ahead, 150 feet, straight at it with the touch plastic first. And then always do at least 1 touch and then 1, what's the other plastic called? Taffy plastic for the ace race. Ooh, super straight. Too high. Highs are in. Oh, 1 medal. All right, starting off with a bang. Oh, this course is so busy though. There's like people everywhere, which is why I'm not worried about throwing multiples, but there'll also be people behind me. I do have an interesting putt to get started, and that's what happens when you try to basically ace every hole. Maybe I should try to park it with the first, but acing sounds more fun. Oh no, left side. Ah. All right, so I feel like, yeah, this is the chunk that got taken out of it right here. You might be able to see. Pretty good, but I mean, that's what happens. This one hit the ground in a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Zero medium plastic from Latitude 64. This definitely seems a little glidier and a little more stable, which is why these numbers kind of confuse me a little bit, but we're gonna have backups every hole, so. I mean, you don't have to get used to it, I guess I do. You're just gonna cut to the next thing.
I thought we were looking at that hole.
Do me a favor, stand about me.
Oh yeah.
I got you on that.
Oh, we should be able to at least get our first birdie though, which is the plus. I should say that like if I don't beat par ever at Johnny, I have to give away like 100 discs or something, because that honestly only seems fair. Maybe like $100. Birdie, baby. I just want to see if you guys have ever seen UDisc times that look like this, like for how busy it is. Because I never ever did, and I played a ton of courses until I got here, and then that's insane. That's why I think I need to get here at like 9 a.m. to shoot these videos next time, because then I can run through it. All right, I think we're gonna go with the touch plastic here because it's it says 273, UDisc says like 268, and this one will flip a little more. It kind of reminds me of a P1. Little flip up. Oh yeah, that reminds me just like a P1. Get a skip. I mean, double park, triple park. I'm trying on, you can probably see I'm trying between a bunch of shoes recently. The Ideo Reveal will be coming once they restock those. I've been wearing Ultras mostly, but I wanted to try out these, which are like Amazon $45 Witten barefoot shoes that have some trail stuff with them. We have 3 park jobs, which is awesome. On to 4. I think, again, it's gonna be one of these touch plastic ones because it's a little less stable. Stay up, dang it. I only parked it. Not gonna get stable. I don't think I can split that again if I tried. I split it again. I split it again. Are you joking? They're very straight, even up here. I'm starting to learn to put a little bit more spin on them. So I imagine they'll be slightly flippy at sea level if you're throwing them pretty hard, but pretty much just like very straight, I'd say. I would say these are pretty like a P1. The premium ones are a little more stable. The profile is very different though. And after this hole, I'm gonna cut to me in the booth and we'll talk about that. So let's talk about the Love real fast. The mold is honestly pretty interesting because it's not like a lot that I've thrown before, but I think I have a couple examples of what it might be. First, what's interesting to see is we have 230, and then this is probably saying 1.5, which doesn't quite make sense because this is 2301, and this is definitely more stable. The premium versions, the taffy. I do like the foils, and especially the swirls of this one specifically. But getting into the profile, I'm pretty sure that this is made by MVP. I don't know for sure, obviously, but it has the grams right here, just like all of MVP things, and it has the molding injection points that you can see kind of all around that MVP makes, like this Crave here, where you can see the injection sites here, and then like this is a Mint Disc Goat, and it's also very similarly, it's a little bit harder because it's a little faster, but it does have some injection points as well. Honestly, feeling these plastics side by side, it'd be hard to know which one was Jester and which one was Mint, because especially the one disc that I think that could be comparable to this is the Mint Disc's Bullet. Just saw a video and it looked like it had a similar beveled edge down here, which is not quite similar to like a Zone. This is what they kind of look like side by side, and as you can see, the Zone kind of has a much more severe bevel on it. This gets a lot closer to straight faster, and then obviously this is just flat top, which makes it different because this has the curve that gets up to the flat. I will say there is ever so slightly a micro bead right here that you might be able to see, which I think you might actually be able to see the bead better on this disc, which makes the grip a little interesting because when you grip it and you put your knuckle in, it makes it feel like it's a little bit concave going down this way. So when you put your knuckle in, it doesn't actually sit all the way in. You have to grip into the disc, it feels like, instead of just gripping onto the disc. Some people might like for grip, some people might not. I kind of find it as a neutral thing for me. Now this touch plastic definitely got beat up a lot more than the taffy plastic, as you can see just all along the rim. Orange one is the one that already hit metal and maybe didn't hit metal later in the video. I did see a slight difference in stability, but like I'm gonna explain later, I think they kind of beat into a point, just like every putter plastic or base plastic that is like pretty acceptable, and then they just stay there for a while. But in terms of the overall feel of the disc, basically I think of it as a shallower Birdie Marvel with a bead. This is a Marvel from Birdie Disc Golf Supply, and as you can see here, they have like the same exact kind of thing. It's pretty comparable, that beveled edge, but as you can see, the Marvel is definitely a little bit deeper than the Love. So if the Marvel's too deep for you, or even like putting is a little too deep, like this one I feel very comfortable putting my finger on the rim. It's a little bit harder to put it under the rim because of how deep it is. This one, I'm kind of at an in-between place, which is actually maybe worse because then I didn't know how to putt for a lot of the video. You'll actually see that. I realized that on like hole 17 or 18. But this feels to me pretty similar to a Birdie Disc Golf Supply Marvel, just a little bit shallower and with a tiny, tiny micro bead at the bottom. In terms of hand feel on the forehand, there's not a lot for me to say because I don't really tend to forehand these type of putters much, even though you can, and I will do that a couple times later in this video. But overall, I mean, the quality feels very high, just like everything that you'd come to expect out of MVP. I have a lot of companies reaching out to me, and most of the time I'll be like, hey, you can send me your stuff out if you want. Can't promise I'll make a video on it. Maybe it'll get into the main channel, probably get into the second channel, but Dance's Bogeys. You should subscribe to that, and subscribe here if you haven't yet. But I picked these up because of how shallow they were, and because they were made by MVP, I was like, this seems like a really good disc. But very solid, shallow putter. All right, this one is straight ahead, like 205 feet, but overall this crap, it's kind of the most gimmicky hole on the course. I think we'll go with one of these more stable ones so I can trust it on a little more ante and a little higher, that it will fade back. That might do it. Oh no, that was a good shot though. I was kind of surprised. The first two shots were a lot closer than I thought. So I had not been throwing this hole well before, but I think I might have figured it out a bit. I love how shallow these guys are. These are definitely baby hands approved. Very baby hands approved. All right, 222. Just a straight guy. I think we'll go. I just really like the look of this swirly one. So we're for sure throwing this guy right in the basket. Short. Dang it. I keep parking it. Stay straight, stay straight. Oh. Not stable. All right, I'm finally like not on someone's tail and someone is not on mine-ish. I mean, we're like on the same holes. It's like close, but I have a tee box to myself for the first time this whole round. Whew, almost smacked the camera. And they were trying to hit me because I have the tee box now. I really like the way this guy looks. This taffy plastic feels just like Sublime plastic, which I think is similar to like a Streamline plastic. And then Touch plastic just feels good. Maybe this is their Nerve plastic, because I've heard that beats up pretty fast from like TSA. I don't know if everything made by Mint uses the same plastics. I would guess probably, because I don't think a lot of companies have the funds for proprietary blends. This hole, we got what, 230 feet? 237. Oh gosh. I threw it hard, just totally missed my line. Get in there. Oh, all right, kind of juiced that one a little hard. Kind of want to count the number of 4 calls that I hear each of these videos and make it like another category, because it always is happening. Low. Did not spin that enough. Don't like taking parts of this course, but let's see how these guys handle a forehand. Straight ahead of us, 171 feet. Oh gosh, that's all right. It's just a little long. Okay. Oh, I thought that flipped more. All right. I think too, though, I practice a lot of like touchy forehands with like putters and mids. So if you're only using overstable stuff on your forehand, I don't think those will fly like that for you. But if you like forehanding putters and mids, especially like understable stuff and getting like fun flights out of it, these will work too. They were surprisingly more torque resistant on this. Like they're all like around 180 to 200 feet. So nothing crazy. Good putt. They're like kind of straight, that with the torque resistance that I think I've seen, like they will be straight at sea level too, but you'll be able to turn them a little bit if you throw them hard and flat. Whereas I kind of have to put them on an angle here. That's my guess. All right, basket straight through there, 240 feet. Looks like a hyzer line between those trees is the best. So we'll take just one of the taffy ones and throw it, which is the premium ones, and just throw it flat through the gap. Try to focus on a little more spin. I'm trying to overpower these a little too much and it's not working for me. Really good. Get it. Oh, come on. That's great too. A little hyzer. Yeah, those are starting to flip up a little bit more than when we started. Those are great shots. One funny thing too is, believe it or not, I'm very much an introvert. So people, like all these people, like, probably why I'm quiet in this video. Everything's freaking me out. Because believe it or not, I'm actually really like a pretty big introvert. So if you see me on the course, say hey, I'll definitely chat, but I will not initiate. Oh, I totally am MOB probably. Oh no, I'm safe. Let's go. Meant to give it more Annie, just didn't out of the hand. There we go. Another par, dang. We're not gonna be setting a very good mark for this series so far. Sit down. Oh, I'm juicing stuff today, apparently. We'll go with the touch plastic first. Too low, that's fine. We're parking it, we're parking it. Oh my gosh. Hey, at least we didn't bogey. At least we didn't bogey. I think we should say a bogey here is automatically giving a disc away. That's fine. Hit the hill and sit. Nice, nice and collected. Stay up. Oh. I think that was just 3 pars in a row. 3 pars before that birdie. All right, next we got a 230-foot hole. We have 6 left and we're 7 down. I'd say 12 is a good number to try to get to, but I think the more spin you put on these, the more they just kind of stay straight. Like that last one had a good chance of going in if I would have put it just a little bit further on that line, because it doesn't want to fade much off of its line, even these premium ones. I think, honestly, these touch ones, the base ones, they'll actually move a little bit more because they start to turn over more after they've hit more stuff. Like these are definitely less stable than when they started, but that's what happens with most basier plastics or like putter plastics. And then they kind of stay at a sweet spot for a while and then they continue to just get beat in after that. And I think the sweet spot gives you 2 pretty good options here. All right, hole 13 is 231, just straight ahead of us to the right of that tree up there. Oh my. That was so bad. That's a putt, but There we go. All right, nice and straight ahead of us, 155. Too much Annie. I Matty-O'd it. It's a great like upshot. It's a great technique for upshots, just not when you don't throw it into the basket. That's it. Oof. Oh, thank you for having some glide. That was a duck of a putt. Not even gonna putt a second one. We're not even gonna know if it's luck or not, because it might have been. Alrighty, 204 feet straight ahead of us. Beautiful little shot, so just put it in the basket, you know? Oh, that's actually not the worst, but wow, I keep trying to like I keep trying to watch it. That's what it is, I just keep trying to watch it. That's so much better. At least it feels better. Brace wasn't as good, but it felt better. Go in. Just low. Okay, 2 medals. I didn't want to only get 1, you know? That felt good. Keeping that head, not watching through the disc, is so helpful. Dude. It wasn't the best putt, but I think it deserved to stay. All right, this one's only 145 feet. It's just a big hyzer, but I think for fun, we're gonna try to just bump up this Annie line over those trees. We'll start with a touch plastic one. Ooh, it's kind of really touchy angle from here. Oh gosh, way to get over it. Here we go, get in. Oh, too high. Oh gosh. Gosh, very straight. Also, I'm not putting the way I like to putt right now. I don't know what's going on. I think a part of it is just new discs that I don't normally putt with and feel a little different, like the shape of it feels very different in my hands. It's just slightly throwing me off because I don't like to put my finger on the rim. I like to put it under. And since it's flat before there, I don't feel like it gets the same pop. So maybe if I put it on the rim, I mean, I definitely feel like that's a little better because it kind of just conforms to your finger. And I'm just not getting the finger pop I normally do. There's 2 to go. I'm only 9 down. That's like the worst I've shot here. Just gonna go straight at it, probably. Oh, it's not flipping. Well, kind of flipped, but then it just went straight. That's better. I thought I made that. Interesting. I actually just noticed, I think the reason I don't get the finger pop is because, not because like it's a weird where it lays my finger flat, but I actually, because of the microbead and the way that it is flat down there, I actually don't get my finger under it at all. So my finger, I actually realized that as I released that putt, it's sitting like this, meaning that like the knuckle, which is normally under like that, which gives me a lot of extra pop, isn't actually under it. So I'm not getting this pop, and I'm not getting this pop. It's kind of in the middle. So, I mean, if you don't putt like that, it's not a deal breaker. Or if your hands are any bigger, you'll probably still get it, but it's just that big enough for my hands to, it feels good to realize why I am unable to make all these putts today, because I'm still only 9 down. We have a turnover here, or just a spiking forehand, which I think we're gonna throw. And that's not a spiky forehand. It didn't mean to be a spiky. Okay, I was rambling there, but we should have secured our 10 down. And if I'm not double digits on any of these, I feel like it's an embarrassment. Swing in. Oh my gosh. 10 down. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right, we're gonna send it back to me in the booth so I can not have all of those anxieties flowing through my body and fully form my thoughts before I tell you my final thoughts on all these guys. 2 medals, 10 down. That's the score to beat. So, final thoughts on the Jester Disc Golf Love. And I know these technically aren't bag it or bin it, but I'll still give my opinion on whether I think you should bag it or bin it. And for this disc, I would definitely have to say it's a bag it disc. Like, I'm really trying to be a lot more disciplined about not just throwing fun new discs into my bag. So I don't think that this is gonna take the place of my P1, but I think it could. The feel is a little bit different and I really like my P1, so I think I'm gonna stick to it, but I could see a place where I put this in my bag, especially because it's baby hands approved. Ted down isn't the worst for starting this out. I just want it to be a lot more, and I'm definitely not going to go back to Johnny when it is that busy, because that was ridiculous. I'll probably be there in the morning for these reviews. Let me know if there are any putters that you wanna see me do, especially some underrated, underrepresented putters, or if you have a company and you wanna send me some out. Let me know. We can try to hook it up. Can't promise a video necessarily, but if your putter's good. Johnny Putter reviews, more to come. I was gonna make the leaderboard, but I'm gonna do that for the next video since we'll already have someone on it, and hopefully it'll look a little bit nicer than just like a piece of cardboard that I write on. Thanks so much, Jester, for sending me these out and just reaching out, because I had never heard of you, but these are really nice discs. And they said that they had an easy throwing mid-range coming out at some point soon, and so definitely want to give that a test because these discs are sick. If you want to check out my last video, it's about some form changes that I'm doing and how to do an effective 30-minute fieldwork session, because I think I was actually able to figure out a way to do that. Obviously, the longer the fieldwork, the better, as long as you don't hurt yourself. But check that out right down here. I don't think enough people saw that as should, because I think it's a pretty good video, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. I gotta get this up so I can lift, putt, and do fieldwork. Okay, love you guys.